Welcome to the Morning Download Podcast, your go-to resource for personal finance, economics, and market insights. In just 8 minutes a day, we provide valuable information to help you make better money decisions. Don't forget to sign up for our free newsletter at https://www.morningdownload.com. Subscribe. Let's dive right in. In today's episode, we'll cover strong growth of Berkshire Hathaway, GM, DraftKings, and Walmart, upcoming earnings announcements from Uber, eBay, and Disney, the impact of high mortgage rates and reduced supply on home prices, the challenges faced by the UAW in expanding its battle to Tesla and other non-unionized automakers, the guilty verdict and potential consequences for Sam Bankman-Fried and other crypto moguls in a fraud case, the increased contribution limits for 401(k)s and IRAs set by the IRS, and Warren Buffett's advice on investing in oneself.
Hey there, investors. Let's dive right into some exciting news from the business world. Berkshire Hathaway has really been making moves, posting a whopping 40% jump in operating earnings. That's some serious growth. Speaking of growth, GM is investing a massive $13 billion in U.S. facilities. They're clearly committed to expanding their presence and creating more opportunities for American workers. Way to go, GM! But wait, there's more good news. DraftKings has been making waves and setting new records. It's always impressive to see companies reaching new heights, isn't it? And let's not forget about Walmart, which has recently reached an all-time high. It's great to see this retail giant thriving and reaching new milestones. Now let's move on to another exciting topic, earnings season. This week we can expect announcements from big names like Uber, eBay, and Disney. It'll be interesting to see how these companies have been performing and what their future looks like. Now it's time for a fun fact. Did you know that the iconic startup sound you hear when booting up a Windows computer is called the Microsoft sound? It's a catchy little tune composed by Brian Eno. And get this, he reportedly earned a cool $35,000 for his work on it. Not bad for creating an unforgettable sound, right? Did you hear the latest news about home prices? Some experts are predicting that home prices could spike nearly 5% in 2024. It's not as high as the previous projection of a 5% increase, but it's still significant. So what's causing this revision? It seems to be a combination of high mortgage rates and reduced supply. The number of available homes for sale has dropped by 16%. Many home sellers are hesitant to enter the market and risk losing the low mortgage rates they secured before the recent increases. But these increasing prices and high rates are making it harder for people to purchase homes. This has led to falling home sales for several months now. In fact, total home sales are expected to decline by 18% in 2023, reaching 1 million. Unfortunately, things aren't looking much better for the housing market in the near future. Researchers expect sales volumes to remain sluggish due to tight inventory conditions and the resilience of high mortgage rates. In other news, Saudi Arabia's oil production cuts have tipped its economy into reverse. This is a significant development on the global stage. Additionally, Astra, a company, has defaulted on its debt agreement and warned that it may not be able to raise the cash it needs. This could have far-reaching consequences. Lastly, there's a ticking clock on the 6% real estate commission after a $1.8 billion verdict. Things are definitely shifting in that industry. So, there's some interesting news in the automotive industry. The UAW, or the United Automobile Workers, has reached a tentative deal that they're pretty happy about. But they're not stopping there. Nope. They want to expand their reach and take on some big players like Tesla and Toyota. Now here's the thing. Tesla isn't exactly unionized. In fact, they've managed to fend off previous attempts by workers to form a union. But the UAW is hoping to change that. If they succeed, it could be a huge blow to the company. After all, Tesla workers currently earn about $55 an hour in wages and benefits, which is lower compared to other automakers in the country. On the other hand, Toyota seems to be making some changes. They've recently increased worker wages and reduced the amount of time it takes for employees to reach top wages. And guess who the UAW thinks is behind these changes? Yep, you guessed it. They believe it's all because of their efforts. So, it looks like the UAW is gearing up for a major battle. They've had some setbacks in the past when it comes to organizing foreign-based automakers, but they're not letting that deter them. It will certainly be interesting to see how things unfold with Tesla, Toyota, and the UAW in the coming months. In some breaking news, Sam Bankman-Fried, the person behind the well-known crypto exchange FTX, has been found guilty on all 7 counts. This comes after a major fraud and money laundering trial that also involved trading firm Alameda Research. The situation is quite serious, as experts are saying Bankman-Fried could face a potential sentence of up to 110 years in prison. However, the actual duration will be determined during the hearing, which is scheduled for March 28, 2024. Interestingly, Bloomberg recently published an article titled, "Sam Bankman-Fried Won't Be the Last Crypto Mogul Behind Bars." The piece explores the toxic culture that surrounds Bitcoin and other digital currencies and predicts the possibility of similar verdicts in the future. So, here's some exciting news for all our American listeners who have a 401k retirement plan or an individual retirement account, commonly known as an IRA. The IRS has just announced that they're increasing the contribution limits for these accounts starting in 2024. For 401k plans, most workers will now be able to contribute up to $23,000, which is a $500 increase from this year. Similarly, the maximum allowable contributions for IRAs will see a boost of $500, reaching $7,000 in 2024. And if you're 50 or older, you'll still have the opportunity for catch-up contributions, with the limits remaining at $1,000 for IRAs and $7,500 for 401k type plans. Now, you might be wondering if this increase really matters. Well, technically speaking, it does, but only for those who consistently contribute the maximum allowed. Unfortunately, that number is quite low. In fact, last year, only about 15% of participants in 401k plans managed by Vanguard Group reached the legal contribution limit, and with the higher threshold now, it's likely that even fewer people will hit the maximum. However, there are some other benefits to consider. Certain elderly Americans might experience increased tax advantages when employing a charitable giving strategy. Starting in 2024, IRA holders will be able to send $105,000 to a charity, and it will count towards their minimum required distributions from those retirement accounts. This is up from the previous limit of $100,000. The IRS determines these contribution limits by looking at factors like changes in the cost of living and inflation. Speaking of inflation, the U.S. has been battling high inflation lately, with a figure of 7% for the 12-month period ending in September. This is an important factor that the IRS takes into account when adjusting these limits. Today's personal finance quote of the day comes from none other than the legendary investor Warren Buffett. He once said, "The best investment you can make is in yourself." And you know what? He couldn't be more right. It means focusing on personal growth, education, and continuously improving our skills. By investing in ourselves, we can unlock our full potential and increase our chances of success in all aspects of life, including our finances. Whether it's learning a new skill, taking up a hobby, or pursuing further education, these investments in ourselves can pay off in huge dividends down the road. So, instead of solely focusing on external investments, let's not forget to invest some time, effort, and resources in our own personal development. After all, it's the best investment we can make. Thanks for listening to today's personal finance quote of the day.
In this episode, we discussed strong growth from Berkshire Hathaway, GM, DraftKings, and Walmart, upcoming earnings announcements from Uber, eBay, and Disney, the predicted increase in home prices due to high mortgage rates and reduced supply, the impact of oil production cuts on Saudi Arabia's economy, the UAW's battle to expand to non-unionized automakers, the conviction and potential prison sentence for Sam Bankman-Fried in a crypto fraud case, the increased contribution limits for 401ks and IRAs, and Warren Buffett's advice on the best investment. Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Download, your go-to podcast for personal finance, economics, and market insights in just 8 minutes a day. Don't forget to subscribe for more helpful content and sign up for our free newsletter at Morning Download. Subscribe.